Number 4, to me, is the exact same question as number 3. They look completely different. They seem completely different. But if we think in terms of our get back to basics strategy, we're dealing with a line yet again. How do I know that? Well, look at the answer choices, right? These are all linear equations. They kind of follow the y equals mx plus b format. So we have slightly different letters because the story has different letters. There's some maybe annoying numbers in here, but it's a line. And so I want to think in terms of y equals mx plus b. I want to think in terms of slopes and y-intercepts. But when we have a story, these pieces of the linear equation kind of take on new meaning. They still are slopes, they still are y-intercepts, but there are certain words that we should associate with them in the context of a story. So a slope, that's a rate, a change, an increase, or a decrease, right? It's something is moving, something is changing. Whereas a y-intercept is more of a starting point or an initial value. And that's because usually when we have a story, we're not thinking about negative numbers. So the first point on our graph is where x is 0, and that's your y-intercept. So that can help us interpret what's being said. So in this case, they say the front of a roller coaster is at the bottom of a hill and it's 15 feet above the ground. Well, that sounds like a y-intercept. That sounds like a starting point. It's starting 15 feet above the ground. If the front of the roller coaster car rises at a constant rate of 8 feet per second, there's that word rate, that sounds like a slope. There you go. We've got a line. Which of the following equations gives the height h in feet of the front of the roller coaster car s seconds after it starts up the hill? So y equals 8x plus 15 would be my non-story line, but now I've just got to put those variables in place. And okay, well, this seems to be the one that does it, and that is the answer. 8s plus 15 matches nicely if we just change our variables. That's all. And that's usually all these take. We can also know that number 4 is supposed to be an easy question because it's near the beginning of the section. So it's probably not going to get much more complicated. There probably won't be some serious traps. I have no idea where that 335 comes from, but that's kind of always what we're dealing with, is we're trying to figure out what are they really asking for. This is not a question about roller coasters. This is a question about lines. The faster you can make that connection, the easier time you'll have.